Hello, welcome to Beth Roars, where we look at your favourite singers to find out what makes them them. This video has been sponsored by Skillshare. I keep on working with Skillshare as they have loads of great classes on lots of different topics. I even gifted a Skillshare membership to my sister for her birthday as she wanted to learn while in lockdown and has a wide variety of skills and interests at different levels. Skillshare was the perfect gift for her as they offer thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics from painting to logo design, from photography to typography, and from self-discovery to discovering your creative voice. And of course, singing. Most classes are under 60 minutes with short lessons to fit any schedule, which is really handy for a busy creative. And there are classes for every skill level. So whether you want to learn something new or already have a knowledge base, there's something for you. Normally, all this is for less than $10 a month, but for a limited time, use the link in my description to get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. I had to react to Tool again because I have been inundated with requests to react to them since their new album has been released, and I do love them. I've just found it really difficult to find really great audio recordings that are live audio recordings that I could react to. But someone did send me this and I think it's great. It is a fan recording, so let's give it a listen. It's so intense. So intense. And there's so much going on with rhythm. Obviously this is quite bassy, so you get a lot of blurry sounds, but okay, so singing in that position is not easy, and everything that he does really just embodies this transcendental vibe that he wants to put across. It's as if he has been taken over by the music, and of course, you don't ever see an opera singer singing all bent over like that. However, for this style, doesn't matter? Of course not. It's got such clarity of tone, which really contrasts to the music in this. He has that real tenor clarity of tone that you don't get. Not everyone has that, and his voice has this lightness yet emotionalness that you get throughout his range. It's sometimes really difficult to tell where he is in his range because whether he's singing high or whether he's singing low, he has that same quality throughout the whole range. And I mean, I certainly don't have that. I find that really difficult to maintain the quality the whole way through, and most people do in the way that he does. So that's something that is really, really great about him. And like there, he's so precise with all those little chromatic scales, and then when he wants to break free, he will make it oozy and he will stretch the notes, and it doesn't have to be perfect all the time, but when he wants it to be perfect, he makes it perfect. So intense. Wow. That was for blooming ages. Now, one of the reasons that he can hold that for so long is actually he is not blowing out his vocal cords. He is not pushing loads of air out to get those big high notes. He's finding a really resonant spot for him. Oh! How you can find that is by making some gross noises like wah, wah. Feel how gross and resonant that is? He is making a little bit more of a warmer version of that. Feel how little air you need to make that sound. Now, what the main mistake is that when people want to produce a big sound, they either push their muscles into it or push loads of air out, and neither of these things will help. So muscle tension, when it's not required within a song, can only really hinder you, and it feels so intuitive to do it. Likewise with breath, you only have these little vocal cords. If you push loads of air behind them, they're only sitting inside your neck like this. They just pop open. They can't deal with all that air. So you end up with instead of So to get a big tone, it isn't about pushing and it isn't about loads of breath. Then you can hold notes for longer as well. I love all the synthy sounds they use. So most people say that this song is about a transcendental drugs trip, and you really get that vibe with this song. It is. Transcendental is the only word that I can use to describe it. And in Eastern philosophy, they refer to the third eye. So I find out the different ideas of what your eyes are for. So your left eye is meant to be to see where you're going. Your right eye is used to determine what you're going to do when you get there. And your third eye is the invisible eye that represents the energy to do it. And this feeling of energy just travels throughout this song and really their music as a whole. Like, it makes you think. One of the things that Maynard says is that he wants people to introspect while listening to this music, and it really does. It makes you think of the layers of the brain and what the brain is possible of doing. It is kind of inspiring and scary at the same time. That is so interesting. So I talk about how breath is used a lot in music, and actually using the breath as a tool, as a as music is really, really interesting. Again, that is not used so much, but it is so important, even in, I want to say normal music, but in pop music, there have been studies about the breath and how important it is and how emotional people perceive the music to be when the breaths are in the music or when it's out the music. So in the study that I read, it was a Beyonce song. She sang the song and they'd taken out all the breaths and people rated how emotional they found it, and then they did the version with the breaths and she got a much higher score for the emotion of the piece on that second one with the breaths in it. So breath is so important in expressing emotion. Kind of sounds like an eagle. Ah! Swooping. He's gonna make himself dizzy doing that. I need to have a sit down. See, this is the perfect example of when he has these really free moments and he doesn't really care about it being perfect, and then he'll do a run where each note is exact. It gives this kind of ebb and flow to it, especially after all those breaths. And then he has the da-da-da-da. Those runs are just spot on. I didn't really know how to end that because it isn't the type of music for me that I want to be like, yeah, even though the audience clearly were. And it leaves you in this really introspective mode. And he is the sort of person that goes to places with his voice and with his performance that most people won't go to. He loses complete control and really just is free. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.